Great. So now we've just created a new report. And again, if this were the offline version, although we're only going to work off of one computer today, you would have hit a synchronization button and it would have immediately have sent that report to the Tor server. Now, what we can do within the Tor server is, again, select a teacher within your school, obviously. You can get those reports. In other words, if we want to select a specific report, so again, we can use the report ID number, or we can query or identify by the date, the particular teacher, the subject that you are observing during that time period, the grade level, and you can also do it with the observer. So if we want to pull up that report ID number, we are able to generate that report. So if a teacher asks for that report 2 months or a year in advance, you can always pull up the report. Now, in addition to that, what we're able to do is look at teachers through a longitudinal study. So what we're able to do now is just look at a particular section, and this is how we really start to evaluate a teacher. What it does is it again provides you that quantitative number. Now we have report 323, 339. That's because this is our demo system, and so we've been doing many demonstrations. So what would happen is that if you want to look at a teacher and have a discussion, possibly for capacity building, and determine where they need to improve, you'd be able to look at instructional methods, the classroom procedures, the knowledge of subject matter, how to guide students, and again, it quantifies, it gives you a number for that data. So if you can communicate that it was observed 2 or 7 times, that may be an area where they want to improve or determine why it was not observed as much. So it gives you the true data to be able to determine where you should start that process. Now, also to support the administrators and support schools and districts, again, the wave that what we're focusing on across the nation is looking at teachers' instructional strategies and performance, but tying it into student data. So what would happen is if this were your district and you've selected which information system we want to use, whether it's summative data or formative data, you would be able to click student data, and then you'd be able to review that particular data for that child and cross-check it with the instructional strategies that a teacher is using. So at this point, now you know whether or not the instructional strategies are using, if a teacher needs to use an additional instructional strategy or consider another one. Okay. Now, let's move on and look at a few more reports. In addition to the teacher report that's done longitudinally or sectional report, you can actually look at the qualitative data. So we talked about that data that you type in. You can pull up the qualitative data, and again, there is no limits on the amount of text that you can put in a text box. So you again could copy a dissertation in here, or type for days, or type that information that kind of qualifies or communicates what that numerical data indeed captured. And so you want to be able to describe that numerical data. So this is your opportunity to do that. Now, in addition to being able to observe teachers, one thing that's important is that, again, we want to be able to recognize and determine whether or not an administrator is providing that supervision in the classroom. So if you're at the director level or at the district level or the state level, you should be able to select an observer and click on Get Reports. Now it's going to list all the reports they observed, and what you now can tell is how often this administrator is getting into the classroom and actually supervising instruction, which is very important. Now, in addition to that, you can look at it from a grade level. And what you can do is you can select a grade level, Get Reports, or sectional reports. And now what you have is a system to strategically determine through data where you want to build capacity. So again, you can walk through instructional methods, your classroom procedures, and as you look at these numerical numbers that tell you 24 of 79 or 17 of 79, that helps you to determine where your professional development should lie. Not only can you do that at the grade level, but you can also do that at the school level as well. So again, our Tor system provides you an opportunity to evaluate teachers, to determine how often administrators are in classrooms, and it provides you with that support to build capacity at the school and the grade level as well. So that is a quick demonstration of the power of the Tor. Now, what I also want to communicate is that our Tor integrates with our other solutions. We have other additional information systems that are all related, such as a response to intervention and an English language development information system as well.